Hello.
How are you? That was a nice quick break.
Good. How's it going?
I'm having issues today, but what else is new? Guys,
Mm.
hello, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Now that we've got all of the business out of the way, on the docket today, we have Married to Medicine Season 8, Episode 16, Jekyll Island Part 2, the season finale.
I can't believe we're here already, honestly.
Sorry about that, guys. I just had to tell somebody something. Anywho, yes, this was a good season. I like the 12 to 16 episode story arc. I do.
It's easier to digest.
Yeah, especially for our shows, which really lack in content. Like a Maths Australia, I can go up to 40 episodes and be thoroughly entertained
Hmm.
and utterly heartbroken when the season is ended. But for us with limited content, I like these episodes, these seasons, these shorter seasons.
This should all be done in this format, though. That's the problem. Like trying to stretch stuff out over like 23, 24 episodes, and then you want to come back with a 3-part reunion. It's like no.
Yeah, like Atlanta did that, right?
Yeah,
That was torture. Complete
that was
and
so
utter
painful.
torture. But this is going to have a 3-part reunion.
But they deserve 3 parts, though.
Listen, I'm going to need some resolution on whether papers were filed, houses are being divided, custody agreements are being settled, estates being split, and like who picking up from the school line Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that.
there was a lot to unpack with them. I mean, a lot to unpack because they were just it was just heartbreaking. But decisions have to be. I want decisions to be
Mhm.
made, basically, from my standpoint. I understand with Contessa. I understand you have 3 children. I really, 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 really do. But that being said, you can't go on this way, being upset, crying, um, all that good stuff. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because
It's
it's
not.
not just this season.
Mm-mm.
Like if it was just this season, I'd be like, girl, counseling. But this is years now that she's been kind of hinting around at this.
Yeah, and it's not good for your kids to see you this way.
Hmm.
Um, you know, like I said, you got 3 kids. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But your kids shouldn't be the reason you stay in an unhappy marriage. Because if you were staying in an unhappy marriage, I'm sorry, you're probably gonna raise um unhappy children.
Who'll make the same mistakes that you do,
Hmm.
or think that the way how daddy treats mommy is normal.
And are all her children girls?
No. Doesn't
She has
she
one
have a
boy.
boy? I
She has a
think
boy.
so. I think
But
so.
yeah, like because now you're teaching your daughters what kind of man that they'll probably get. Like they're like, oh,
Hmm.
if I get treated this way, this is normal, and then you'll teach your son how to treat women. Like
Yeah.
he'll treat his girlfriend or wife the same way most likely because it'll be normal to him. That kind
Yeah.
of dysfunction.
Yeah.
It's not good for anybody.
Nope. Okay, so let's just see who's in the live chat. Hey Yanni, hey Trey, hey Montana. Let's see who else. Hey Cooch. Guys, thanks for coming back. We really appreciate it. Hey Susan. Okay, so all right. Let's start off with the first shady action of this episode. They open up when the Anila ordering drinks and
Mm.
charging it to Lisa's room. Now, first off, front desk should not be giving out anybody room number.
Right.
Period.
That was my thing.
Period. did. That's against policy. Like, even when you're checking into a hotel, do you notice that if you're at a good hotel, they will not tell you your room number. They will
Nope.
show you the key packet and slide it to you. And it's always recommended. You know how you get the key packet, the cardboard part has your number, your room number written down on it?
Hmm.
Never ever take that out of the room with you.
Right.
Because if you lose your keys in the key packet, they know what room to go to and the hotel you're in. Come
Exactly.
on
It's
now.
like, yeah, they always tell you not to. They always tell you not to keep your
Mm-hmm.
in your yeah, no.
And the reason why your front desk agent won't say your number is that they don't know who's listening next to you who could come back and do exactly what
Hmm.
Anila did. You know, like, I think that was rigged by production because it's so against hotel policy. Ugh, ay, ay, ay. Anywho, but yeah, she gets the room number. She goes to the bar, and you have to sign for these things.
Hmm.
I didn't see nobody sign off on that bill.
Nope.
Again, another infraction because that the person from food and beverage is gonna, like, accounting is gonna be pissed that bill wasn't signed.
Right.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, never mind. I've worked in a hotel way too long. But good on her. They got Veuve Clicquot, Rosé, 3 bottles, and I'm with Heavenly and Quad for taking a bottle each and going.
Right. They're like these are just they're like Anila just invited us for drinks, and that's all we knew.
But here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. Yes, Anila, you finally sent your invoice, but the damage was already done. You should have sent your invoice immediately after your posting thing. And, like, you should have gone beyond a verbal agreement. You should have gotten an actual document agreement before you went. Maybe she just doesn't know Lisa Nicole and what she gives, but this should be a lesson for you in business and in your annual taxes, because now I'm beginning to wonder if Anila doesn't report all of this income.
True. Now I said that in our last show. Like I broke it down like how it should have
Mm-hmm.
gone, and I'm like, you are a business and you don't, and you're basically a 1099, and you don't have these protocols in place for yourself. Okay, because there should have been a contract. Invoices should have been pre-made. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that should have been done. Like this is just super petty, and like had Neil been handling her business, none of this would have happened.
Um,
Period point blank, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. A lot of that policy changed. You remember that lady that was from ESPN who had the stalker who went and got a video of her through her peephole undressing? She was on
That seems
Dancing with the
familiar.
Stars.
Yeah,
She was an ESPN commentator or something like that, and she had a stalker. And a lot of policies changed in a lot of hotels after that because he kind of used to follow her from city to city, and he overheard her room number at the front desk, and that's how he found her. So yeah, it used to be they would just say it and whatever. But in recent years after that incident, I know at all the hotels I worked at throughout the Caribbean, they stopped saying the number, and the key packet would be slid over to you and given to you. Just safer that way. What you do with your
most
key packet
definitely.
afterwards is your business. Um, okay, so what else happened here? But yeah, and I agree with the men. That was a boss move, what she did. I liked it because it was messy. Do I agree with it? No.
Right. Okay,
Be-
we're talking about. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, because Lisa had a point. It is against the law to do something like that. There were so many violations in this episode, but they made for great TV.
Right now, since we talk about messy, can we talk about how they did the overviews, like going from Toya's house to Anila's house?
Oh.
Did you see how they did that? And the angle
Yes.
they showed it at?
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
oh.
And then you also notice the other messy part. Okay. And I know it's because one is furnished and one isn't. But with Anila's house being unfurnished and you're hearing the echo, it sounds like she's in a mausoleum, like this huge structure. And
Right.
Toy house, just a regular house around the corner.
Right. But how they did that, I was like, y'all so wrong. But Anila, okay, I'm gonna sit here in front. I'm gonna sit here in front. I do prefer Anila over Toya at this point, but Anila's house looked like money.
That those two islands in the kitchen alone,
Right.
amaze balls.
I knew you were gonna go for the islands. So did I. I'd be afraid to touch it. I would be afraid to eat on that. I'm sorry.
And
For
Quad
afraid
is
I
so
would chip.
messy. You heard what Quad said? No wonder why she gotta move.
Right. I mean, because they built their house, which is like 1.5 times bigger for less money.
I don't know. God.
But I mean, I was impressed by that house. I was thoroughly impressed about the work they did, and like, I mean, like it just looked huge and like money.
Yeah, but it was this close to the neighbors though. Three
Yeah, I mean,
million?
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. But in retro, but you have to remember, yes, it's 3 million, but the original budget was 1.5.
Yeah,
So
and they were
see,
supposed to be at like 9,000 square feet or something like
hmm
that. Yeah.
right. So I'm not going.
I,
I'm not going with the 3 million and the neighbors. I'll let that go because you know it it wasn't supposed to be 3. It was supposed to be about almost half the size and half as much, but it just grew into 3 million. So 3 million with that house with the neighbors because it was supposed to be 3 million. I'll let them go with the neighbors
mhm.
because the house is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Um, hold on. Oh yeah. Who was it that said, oh yeah, Yanni. Why they wouldn't talk about selling the house? And why is Eugene all of a sudden have more time to spend at home? Did they cut back his shifts? And now they can't afford the house?
That was what I was wondering too.
Oh well. All right. So, okay. So we've kind of jumped around a bit.
Hmm.
Um, I think hold on. Someone said something. Hold on. Okay, so the joke was great, but I would have paid the bill. Here's the thing. Anila only just issued that invoice. You have to give people time to pay the invoice. Therefore, I would have never played that kind of a joke because in the end, I would have wound up having to pay it. I agree with you, Montana. Like, I wouldn't have let no police be called on me, no matter who was in the news or what. I would have chalked up the $600 and I would have paid for it. But I just question Anila's business sense. That's all. It was cute. Ugh. Okay, so the men arrive. They did not tell Scott why he was oh my god. This had
Right.
disaster written all over it.
Exactly.
But, I, after watching the whole episode, I'm looking at Curtis real side eye. He said some
Yeah,
very questionable things. Jesus.
he did. He can't help himself though. He always putting his foot in his mouth.
But I thought he learned after that episode with Jackie and why are they so willing to defend Scott? And Scott has been so inconsistent with them.
I mean, with everybody actually.
I don't know. Mm. Okay, so did we do anything? Oh, they had two separate activities.
Mm-hmm.
Simone and Jackie wanted to keep Anila away from Toya and Lisa, so they had the Granny tour, which is like a tour of Jekyll Island, and then they had the rest of them on a boat going not fishing. So they caught a bunch of stuff and threw it back. Nobody fought on this boat ride, thank God. What was the high point? Heavenly thought that Carrie's bikini top was a Confederate flag, and Carrie told her, "Get out of Atlanta, travel a bit,
Mm-hmm.
bitch." Um,
That's what. Hey, I like me. I always say this. I like Carrie because she's a quick wit and she can hang.
and her breasts, that was a good job, holding up very well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So now it's time for the dinner. Everybody's going. Jackie says she set it up to be like what a group. She set it up a certain way, but when we got there, it was just a big table for everybody. I didn't understand that. And Heavenly kind of goes in first with the interrogation, and that's where it goes left.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So Scott's on the defensive from the jump. Let's see what y'all are saying. Anila didn't pay the makeup artist right away. She definitely needed to wait. Yeah, Yanni, that's true. Way too
Mm-hmm.
messy. They attacked Scott instead of helping Contessa. Yes. Heavenly and Quad said all of the wrong things, but I don't understand why Jackie and Simone didn't take the lead in this.
Because I think what it was, Heavenly and Quad jumped in right away, and once they did that, the train was already off the tracks. There was no pulling that train back on. So it was better for them to just let them have it out and deal with it and deal with the fallout later. Because
Okay.
they approached it because Heavenly went in straight away. Like Cecil said, y'all couldn't. Was it Cecil or Curtis that said you couldn't wait for the first drink? I mean, you had to jump
Exactly.
in right away. So once Heavenly did that, it was over and done with, in my opinion. There was no saving it, and they didn't approach it from the fact like, hey, Contessa needs to have some things to say versus attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
And but then they shouldn't have like brought him up there to be ambushed anyway.
Did Contessa agree to that?
Yeah,
Oof.
because remember when she was boohooing and blowing snot, she apologized to them. She's, I'm sorry for involving you all.
I felt bad that she had to apologize like that, but let's go back a little bit. Quad and Heavenly started off with the first set of questions, and immediately this man was on the defensive. He started gaslighting. He wouldn't let Contessa talk. He was actually answering for her and got this woman so addle-minded that she stood up and started apologizing. Like, I could not. Like, we saw two back-to-back episodes of women who, like, I questioned their relationships, and I questioned like how the men are behaving in those relationships.
I agree. I'm like, she should just put Scott in the chokehold and answer the questions.
I think she's so beat down now, and it's just like she's just waiting to see what's going to happen when they get behind closed doors. It's kind
I
of crazy.
Yeah, I struggle with her for the simple fact that she refuses to see what's in front of her and make the changes she needs to make. I mean, like I said, I understand the three children, but there are certain times you have to make the best choices for you
Mm-hmm.
and your family. Because Scott's not going to do it. I'm sorry. He's in of the mindset. Well, you're not going nowhere, and that's to me that's where it's coming from. You're not going nowhere. We've been through this. They've probably been through this before, and he's like, well, we've been
But
this
that's what
before,
he
and you
said.
you still stayed. So what's the big deal now?
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the other thing? She knows I have her back. Don't you? Don't you? I'm like, what? She doesn't. Or am I missing that? It was just so crazy. And then, yeah, Montana, I agree with you. Heavenly has no filter, and Quad still is in her feelings about her divorce. And then what killed me is that she got up right away when he didn't even get to the top of that table, and she was
Mm-hmm.
getting up and her head was down. She was apologizing. She was on the verge of tears. And then that hug at the golf cart, that I had a picture of that for the thumbnail. And after looking at her eyes, I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to use this. I don't want to use
Mm-hmm.
this picture. But then if the picture that I used from their confessional, her
Mm-hmm.
eyes are red. Like she was
Yep.
crying throughout the confessional.
Yep.
It's just painful. It's just very painful. Um,
I, I want to jump. I do want to jump back to the houses real quick.
mhm,
Sorry,
mhm,
since we're still being messy.
mhm.
What do you think about the producers asking them why they put their house on the market?
It, I think it was an appropriate question. The response was the shady piece. Like, really? And it came from Eugene. We're not going to
Mm-hmm.
talk about that.
Like I just found it very interesting. Like, it's if I remember the clips correctly, they went from putting Eugene's working less shifts and
Mhm,
spending more time with the family
mhm,
vacationing, but then asked them why they put their house on the market. Um, am I remembering the sequence correctly? Because
mhm,
I thought that was
mhm.
very,
Because that's why I
shady.
said, if he's not picking up, and remember, Heavenly said that he works not just his shift, but he works extra.
Hmm.
Okay. And he works it like back to back. Um, I'm wondering if they cut back his shifts.
Me too. And my thing, if you're working less, how are you vacationing more? Are you
Or you
really
just put it
going to
on a credit
Dubai?
card.
Are you really going to Dubai? Because from what I
Hmm.
understand, Dubai ain't cheap.
If they went during the panorama,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
they wanted anybody to come to Dubai.
Hmm.
Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all out there been trying to reopen for months. So you could get
Gotcha.
some good deals right now for traveling. And that's why there's like so many people traveling, but the airlines can't keep up. American Airlines is like canceling between 50 and 100 flights every day for this week. They cancel 400 flights over the weekend. They don't have enough staff.
Hmm. So
And
are you trying to say Toya and Eugene got good Groupon deals?
probably
Okay.
Probably. They probably had some good miles, frequent flyer miles that they
Hmm.
could use towards tickets. The hotels would be cheap because let's just face it, they were down on
Right.
Jekyll Island and they were the only visitors at that hotel. So they got good deals. Heads and beds is where it's at right now to get revenue at hotels. So you can make it work. You can make it work. Remember when JetBlue first started back flying? My inbox was bombarded with $29 and $39 each way
Hmm.
airfares. You
Right.
can make it work.
I did see some of that. 'Cause they were.
Mhm.
I was getting Southwest deals left and right.
Yes.
I'm like, I wish
Hmm.
I could travel, but I can't. But like, this ain't bad.
Yes. It's very enticing. And we've been cooped up for a year, so people want to get out. Oh, and Trey, you had a question about the golf carts. What they could do is have someone from production go back in the golf cart, or someone from the hotel can drive the golf cart to pick up everybody else. So they wouldn't have been stranded. Oh, hold on. I just saw your comment, Ablavi. Let me drop the link. Okay. Any other questions? You can get a trip to Europe for yeah, the prices are really good now. But the fact that contestants Scott are in this fight, a
Wow,
travel
really?
not happen.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Nick Cannon is having another baby. Well, the one that was just born, we thought it was only one, but it was twins.
Yeah, it
And
was
on
twins.
Father's Day, he announced that another young lady is pregnant. I'm gonna need him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cute. It's not funny. It's not responsible. Like, it's hard enough to be a parent to all of those kids if they were in one house, but you got them spread out. Are they
Mm-hmm.
even in the same state?
I don't think so.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Hey, larger curves. That's a lot of unprotected sex in 2021. Ooh, yes. And yes, Yanni, gross. Happy Monday, larger curves. We love you too. Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Jamal. This episode has so many
Mm-hmm.
issues. Oh, highlight of the episode. At the end of the episode, when they was fighting over those $600 incidental charges, and Carrie said to Lisa, "Lisa, don't be a Karen. Don't call the police."
Right, that was hilarious.
All right, she won me over in that. I'm on your side now, Team Carrie.
I'm gonna need Carrie to be on next season, and they can leave Nicole at home.
I agree. Leave Nicole at home. There's just too many questions with Lisa. Nicole, Carrie, she's fun.
But here's the thing: I will say this: if Lisa Nicole's lab gets rated, then bring her back because we need that. We need to see
She's
that.
not gonna come back if it gets rated.
But if they're not rating it, nah, keep it home.
Oh my God.
Because she didn't really bring anything. Like it was. I thought honestly she was gonna come back. She's gonna show us more of her businesses, more of her dress line. I want to see what she's really been working on, but it's kind of like she's in the same space as when she left. So I'm like, okay, and she wasn't giving us any banter, any like no quotes, no one liners. So I was like, well, why are you here?
Maybe if her husband came back with her and he is like the equivalent of Michael Darby on Potomac,
Mm-hmm.
maybe then, you know.
But she knew he wasn't gonna film, so it's like, why come back? I really thought she was gonna come back with a triumphant redemption arc of some sort. Like, the way I left wasn't the best. I'm better now.
You
You
expected
know,
that from Lisa?
I mean, if you're gonna come back, you need to come back strong and you need to come back hard. You can't be coming back with these same petty little beefs with Heavenly, and she ate you up every time. Let's just call a thing on that one. Heavenly ate her up, and it wasn't fun to watch. It was a mismatch.
Hey, Nisei, I don't understand how you expected any better from her. She was always lackluster. She could never defend her corner. And
But
there's always been shades of illegal with her.
but the thing is, she's had a couple of years to prepare herself. Come on now.
Yeah, no. Let her just stay off the show, doing her little questionable businesses. Just leave her off the show. The show doesn't need that taint. Just saying. She a crook. Oh my God, Yanni, you a mess.
She's a straight crook. That's all it really is. So she's a crook.
I'm trying to be nice. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So after the dinner, Heavenly and Quad, they text with Contessa, check to see if she's all right, making their excuses, head back, and they go up to the room, and Scott lets them in. And they go and talk to Contessa. Jesus. Who's Kevin Johnson? Where did that
Um,
come from?
because wasn't he supposed to be the He
Wait,
said
he's
that
the
the
new
life
life
coach,
coach.
right?
But that's not what he said to Contessa in the kitchen.
No,
Oh God, he's such a manipulative liar. Oh geez. Okay, let me add up Blavi. Hello, my dear. Happy
And
Monday.
oh, I just called in because I don't know why you're getting the boring shows. Um, we got to talk about TLC because
that's
I
tomorrow.
don't
Tomorrow,
know about.
Tomorrow,
tomorrow,
Bravo.
We'll
We
talk
ready for
about
tomorrow.
that?
that because I
Oh yeah.
heard something yesterday that I wanted to see if you heard it too.
What?
What?
All I would say is Michael and Angela. I heard something, and I don't know if I caught it right.
Huh?
Michael and Angela. Oh, I mean, I saw something, but I haven't seen any other um outlets report anything on it yet. I have to do my research.
No. Something was said in her conversation to Michael. We will just watch when she's on the phone call with Michael again. She says something crazy, but
Okay,
nonetheless,
I haven't watched it yet though,
All right.
so I
okay.
can't.
We've
Yeah.
got larger
You
curves
guys
here
have to
too.
watch.
Go ahead. Go
You
ahead,
guys
Ablavi.
have. You guys have to watch Baddies Atlanta. This show is so hilarious. I sat there and watched it. I was keying and having a good time.
What channel is it on, or what streaming service?
Zeus,
No.
Zeus. Ooh, not the Zeus.
listen. This is giving me love and hip loving love no flavor of love vibes. It was so hilarious.
Baddies Atlanta on Zeus. See,
On
Bob,
Zeus.
you gonna make me spend that $3.99?
No,
I'm
you
a
don't
wreck.
spend the $3.99. I've gotten it online. You just
Oh, gotcha.
you just gotta dig through it. Yeah.
I
Another
got
thing
you.
I've been watching. I watched the encore. I watched that new show. What is that show called with my ex?
Yeah, I watched that
I'm
last
living
night,
my y'all.
baby.
TLC is up to their old games again. This is what we like. This is my husband is gay type vibes. This is what
Right.
we like, TLC. This show
Oh my
was,
God.
listen, I can't even quote this. I gotta watch it again, and I gotta watch it good because this is how good it was. I watched it live.
Blavia, quick question. We're gonna talk about
Mm-hmm.
this tomorrow. We're gonna go deep. I have to ask you: did Jack give you questionable vibes?
Baby, I couldn't get straight out of nobody. And then, listen, he was, listen, listen. I'm not knowing their names now, but the black guy, he got to stop that.
Alex.
Yeah, he got to stop. He has listen, listen, ladies. I'm putting him in my Pookie and Ray Ray for tonight because that was just foolishness. I was looking and I said, no.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a long show tomorrow because it was
Oh, it is. Those two,
because
because TLC really came with the fool. It seemed like last night they came with so much foolishness. I'm behind on Bravo.
Oh my God.
but Blavia, you agree with me that Jack is very questionable, right?
Yes, very, very. You know what the thing is? I was hoping they would bring a man. And so, like, something on the side. The one that's really interesting to me, though, is the one who's with his ex-wife and his new girlfriend. I don't know if she's black or biracial. I cannot, I cannot take those eyes she has. I get tired of these 2000 contacts. They look
Are you
so
talking about
ugly.
Kaylee, the one that's gonna be sleeping on the
Yeah,
air mattress
And look,
yeah.
is she sleeping in
in
the
the
closet?
closet? In the closet.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-mm.
And then, I mean, and then that weave again. That weave
Mm-mm.
made my spirit itch so bad. I was like, where'd she get this Party City wig from? Does this buy one, get one free? She looks horrible. And the
Maybe she
confessional
got
looked
it where
horrible.
Simone gets hers.
Oh,
Oh,
Ooh.
you know
oh,
Simone Hair ain't never been right though. Come on now. It's been eight seasons in. Come on now.
She
Oh,
tried a little
Simone.
harder last season.
She did. I mean, a smidge. A smidge. She
But I'll
tried.
let y'all get back to it because I didn't even watch Bravo, and I'm not even gonna pretend I did. I'm not even gonna watch this week. I'm just gonna tell everybody we gotta talk about the. I think we even need to show a clip. That's how crazy that conversation with Angela and Michael was.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
might. We will look
God.
into it. Tomorrow's gonna be our TLC Tuesday, and we gonna talk about these shows because I'm with the Bobby on this one. Um, me, my ex, and your ex or whoever that is, I laughed that whole show, and I haven't done that with in a long time. I was hollering because I was just like, what's her name, Caroline, the one with the questionable Alex. I'm like, are you that hard up, ma'am?
No,
I'm
I gotta
sorry.
go back and figure out the names, figure out go and people's backstory. I mean, listen, in the summer they not playing with us. I have hope for Married at First Sight Houston. I have hope now
Mhm. I'm with you,
because Love
Bobby.
After Lockup came with a bang.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
gotta talk. We gonna talk. We gonna talk. We gonna talk about them later in the week because that had me just.
Wait,
Yeah,
you wanna discuss Love After Lockup?
yeah.
What?
The only reason I didn't. The only reason why I didn't want to do reviews because I didn't start watching. Remember, I didn't start watching it until like midway last season, so that was the issue. But I watched it the season before, and so that gave me last season gave me hope. And because I really want to talk about Deontay or Dante, what that child's name is, because
Oh,
I'm really, really embarrassed for us black men. Ladies, not all of us are that stupid. I'm just telling you now. Don't get no ideas. The simple fact that he basically found a clone of his first wife and didn't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, we're gonna need to talk about that. Yeah,
all right,
we
I'll
gonna.
see you. Good
Mhm.
luck to everybody. Hi, Lodgers. I love. I'm cooking. I don't need to
Hi.
burn anything. Bye.
I love you too. Happy Monday.
You too.
oh my God. Yes,
Larger.
Larja.
What you got? What you want to talk about? What you got? What's in
OMG.
your
I
head?
love Married to Medicine. I wish it
Ooh,
was on a little longer, but I'm glad they're going to
Mhm.
start, filming hopefully without all these weird COVID restrictions,
Right.
however that looks, right?
Right.
But Scott, whoa. I was not expecting him to come off as such a, can I say douche on here? I don't know.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a
yeah,
product, right? So
yeah, yeah.
he's really, I thought they were like, outward appearances are such BS in this case
Mhm.
because I really thought they were like the couple to you know model, and come to find out that she's basically being tortured by this fool emotionally
Mhm.
Mhm.
is, that's disheartening. I'm so confused, especially with their Instagram things, and
Yes.
for her to be such a strong woman every other day and then be like, well, I don't want to ask any questions. That's his life. Whatever answer he gives you is the answer he gives you. But then sit there and cry when the answers don't make sense. It just, she has to pick a side in her own mind on what
Mhm.
is her bottom line. It sounds like she's trying to like be one of those ladies that is like okay with whatever he's doing as long as he comes home and she has
Mhm.
her family unit. But when your daughter hears your dad talk to you that way, then you're setting her up for a fail because that's going to be normal to her. You know what I
But
mean?
And no,
but
exactly.
Larja,
Mm-hmm.
I last night's episode took me back to the episode where Contessa was having the counseling session with her life coach, and that lady asked her, "Did you marry your father?"
Wow. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think that the reason why she's staying is because she always wanted her father in her life when she was little, and like not only is she trying to keep a family unit together for her kids, but like she's trying to hold on to what is basically her dad. Like her father left her as a child for various reasons, but
Right.
like this is the one that she has now, her father figure, Scott, and
Right.
she's
Mhm.
desperately trying to hold on to it no matter what.
I think that plays into many relationships, whether you're male or female. You know,
Mhm.
like we learn love from our parents, we learn abandonment from our
Mhm.
parents, we learn all that stuff. But so yeah, in that respect, we all pick our father or we all pick our mother, right?
Mhm.
Luckily, I think her thing is at least he's not on crack. You know what I mean? Like she's like,
Yes.
Mhm.
he's a
Yeah.
doctor, he's not on crack. Let me keep this man at any cost
Mhm.
to myself,
Mhm.
you know? Or I don't know, maybe because Contessa, like, she's a beautiful woman. And you know, they always say women don't get caught, but she doesn't strike me as a cheater. But it's that whole whatever's good for the goose is good for the gander, too. If she's willing to turn a blind eye to his indiscretions and let it be whatever his answer is, could there be a possibility that her answer gets to be whatever her answer is, too?
I have a
But
question though.
but wait a minute, hold on. Now that you said that, Larja, do you notice that they've edited the preview for the reunion and that is now being called into question, at least for me?
Oh, no, I
They
didn't see a
made it,
re-edit.
yeah, they made it seem like she kind of stepped out. And I know that's not what it is,
Uh-huh.
but it made me think, well, Contessa looks like she's dying for affection.
She does. She looks like a starved woman.
What if she got it when she was doing the her advanced studies in the other state?
And that let her know that she not getting it at home. And that's why she came back like ready to talk about what's not happening at home.
Hmm. It might be a lot of stuff going on here. Go ahead,
There
Jamal.
could
Sorry.
be.
I
Sorry,
have a
Jamal.
no worries. I have a question. Okay, so her answers and her emotions don't match up for me. And I say that now I'm hearing you guys talk. Do you guys think maybe she's cheated in the past? Because
Mm-hmm.
he said we've gone through this before. This is just nothing but a bump, blah blah blah. We've been through the worst. I'm like, has she cheated while she's been out of town and now he's doing this as revenge? Because on one hand, she's like, okay, it is what it is, whatever, whatever. But then when she's in front of the group, in front of the camera, she want to boo hoo and blow snot. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, have you cheated?
They did say from because they were both in the service, so they were not always together during their relationship. They did say
Mm-hmm.
that part. Sometimes if you're grown in your relationship, you can have a grown conversation with where it's like, okay, when I'm there and I'm here, I'm yours, but I might have some needs that I need to get taken care of while I'm over here. And we're just not going to talk about it when I get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a thing at one time, you know, but now that they have kids, maybe she's expecting it to be different. Somebody brought up Ashley and Michael. Maybe it's like, you know, how Ashley pretended that they used to have threesomes and now she doesn't want to have them anymore to cover for Michael's indiscretions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they had a conversation years ago where her answer seems so nonchalant about that's his world. That, like, she's been saying that for a long time. The way she said
Mm-hmm.
that, I wouldn't have said it like that. My husband doesn't get to answer no damn questions like that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't
Right.
get to without a whole other. You would have saw a whole other lady. You would have never seen me at a table full of people say to my husband, "Oh, that's his answer," so calmly, unless we
Well,
had a previous conversation.
but that shows that they have no communication, no effective communication. They don't listen and they don't talk to each other. They just
Yeah,
like talk at each
Mm-hmm.
other and ignore each other. Like it makes
yeah.
no sense.
And then what was up with him walking her off? Why is he That's the abusive type behavior, separating her from the people so she's weaker by herself. He doesn't want her having any support. It feels like.
Yep.
Why did he jump up and walk away from the table when she was saying those and then she's apologizing like an abused woman?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The same thing that Mike did. Mike and Scott, like we got to see a double play of this
Yeah.
foolishness with these two.
Yeah.
Hour after hour. And it was just ridiculous. But it does seem like she's used to it.
It really does. That was too easy
She
to just come out of her mouth.
she fell in line real quick.
She did,
You
and the way
know?
she just got up, like I'm
Yep.
like, what what happened to Dr. Heavenly's bodyguard, Dr. Contessa? Like,
And
she
not
just,
only that,
she was almost with her head hung low.
yes, the body language, the
Yes.
body language. Couldn't look
Mm-mm.
nobody in their eye, and she immediately started sniffling and apologizing. Who was you apologizing to, girl?
Right. Right. That was really hard to watch. Really hard to watch. And then I'm sad that he didn't take an opportunity to try to clear his own name, so when his kids look back on the tape, it can look a little neater, because this is just messy right now.
It was
Yeah.
sad. It was
Very
sad. Like,
sad.
and I agree with Quad. Like, she's such a strong woman who is capable of so much, and yet it all comes crashing down with a few words and gestures from a controlling individual who she's
Yeah.
unfortunately married to.
Yeah.
Oof.
So hard to watch. And then the only other thing I wanted to say is, why does everybody pick on Dr. Heavenly? Anila bought those drinks. Anila put those drinks on the room. Why weren't they asking who else of everybody in the group might have participated? These chihuahuas are always coming for the ankles of Dr. Heavenly. And they need, I don't know why. Is she number one? Because I thought
It's
Dr. Jackie was number one. That's who
it's
I think is
because
number one.
with Heavenly, the thing with Heavenly is because Heavenly is like the loudest. And she says things that she's very blunt, and they don't like it. So, and she's seen as a troublemaker. Like, well, no, she's not a troublemaker if what she says is the truth, or the truth as she sees it. I mean, we all
Right.
have the right to do that.
Right.
Because they don't like her delivery, they get mad at her and want to pick on her. They don't pick on Jackie because they understand Jackie's position, and Jackie will hurt their feelings, but she'll do it politely.
Right.
So, and Jackie's like kind of like quote unquote black goals, so they won't come at her on TV in that way because of like the way she's perceived.
Right.
So they don't want to be looked like, oh, we picking on Jackie. Jackie can defend herself when she needs to. It's just she doesn't feel like she needs to get in all that mess.
Yeah.
Heavenly, on the other hand, Heavenly likes the mess, and they
She
know
does.
it. They
She
know
does.
it.
Heavenly's always willing to like play with the people. She
But
likes
have you watched
calling
her
it what she
reviews?
calls. Yeah,
Have you watched her?
I love. I'm a
Yeah,
boopy. I'm a Joan said boopy. I love her reviews.
her reviews are hilarious.
Hilarious, right?
She's like, I'm not trying to go in on the people, but let's talk about it. Did you see the one where she just went in on Toya?
Oh my God. And she's like, I don't want to talk about the girl. And then she talked about her for like 15 minutes. Yeah, I saw.
Right. I'm gonna, the other time she's like, I'm just gonna lay her flat and get her
that's
out
why
the way.
Toya really all in her feelings, because the
Yeah.
stuff Heavenly says, even though like we know she's kidding, but it is truthful. So
Yeah.
does Toya work? No. Does she does it look like she's trying to work Eugene into an early grave? Yeah. Did she drink too much tequila this season? Yeah. Is she a mean drunk? Yeah. Does she spend too much money? Yeah. So everything she said was the truth, but now you mad, you know? That was funny to me. That was funny. I think Anila was a really good addition overall for the season. I felt like, because at first when she came, I was like, oh no, they did not go get a real Indian, because Mariah used to dress like an Indian. And I was like, no, they didn't. And I was just waiting for her to like have these shoes to feel kind of, you know what I mean? But she brought her own shoes, featured them on her blog, and wore them all over the ladies, okay? Because she came ready to play, and I was here for her beauty, her wit, her family, her husband's crazy eyes, and I like their family a lot. And her house is the bomb. And if anybody finds out why Toya really left, can they tell me why she's really moving? Can you tell me?
Because
not officially.
Eugene did not want to talk about it. He looked right at Toya. He kind of cut his eyes at Toya when they said that whole thing about why are you moving? He cut his eyes and then was like, we don't want to talk about it.
But with the cutest smile, though. I love his smile. I ain't gonna lie. He
You can
has
see
the
him as a little
cutest
kid.
smile. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I love Eugene. Um, Dr. Daddy is number one husband. Eugene is the next one. And then I'll even put Cecil. I like Cecil right now more than Scott. No, okay, no, then Curtis, then Cecil, and Scott is coming in last for me this season for
I'm
surely.
putting Curtis and Scott in the bottom of the barrel together.
Oh my goodness, what did Curtis do to you this season?
Curtis was saying a lot of wrong things last night, though.
He did
A
say,
lot
yeah,
of wrong
Mm-hmm.
things. Like for somebody who was going through this a couple
right.
seasons ago and you almost lost your meal ticket, wife,
Yeah.
you should have learned your lesson.
Yeah, he should have had different responses. Yeah. That
Mm-hmm.
would have shown growth and evolution.
Or at least don't show your backside on the people TV screen. Only say that in the
Yeah.
boom boom room when y'all ain't filming off season.
Yeah. Okay. So Curtis and Scott are downstairs in the basement together.
Yes.
For
Yeah,
sure. For
and
sure.
Cecil is just like at somewhere in there right above them because I'm gonna need him to go to the barber. I don't like that haircut on him.
I love his style as far as dress. I like that he's bold in his
Mm-hmm.
decisions. I do not appreciate him picking in women's business. Like, from what I understand from Heavenly, they're about to get into it with her. He's going to get into it with Heavenly at the reunion because Damon's not going to be there. But she said it's from stuff from 2 years ago. I'm like, really? Was somebody drinking before the reunion that you bringing this old stuff up? Like, he's going to need to go have a seat. And Simone needs to either put it on him better so he listens better or put it in writing that he can't talk to her co-stars.
I don't know. Okay. I agree with you. He does get into the ladies' business a little bit too much. I'm hoping with the real estate endeavor that he will find, I hate to say occupation, but find an occupation and go and practice it and stay out of the ladies' business. You are there as an accessory and to drive somebody somewhere and pick them up. That's about it.
With
He's
Cecil,
a Birkin bag.
With Cecil, though, my issue with Cecil is this: you can't jump into the fire and then play victim.
Right.
You came at heavily unprovoked, and because she ate you up on Twitter and you were embarrassed, you want to be on your feelings, and Simone was wrong for backing you up. I understand that you're going to back up your husband, but in this particular instance, what you're supposed to, it's like, you know what? Heavily, I didn't like what you said, but then behind the doors, Curtis, she was wrong.
Right.
And she never did that. It was always
never. You can tell she never did it.
Heavenly did that. I'm like, well, Simone, you shouldn't have said at the reunion that the crux of your divorce situation was Cecil didn't have a job and you felt some sort of way. You said that on the reunion. We all heard it, and you still not letting it go. Go sit down somewhere. Be like Jackie. Like, get some businesses.
Right. And that's the other thing. Why does she? It doesn't seem that she's utilizing the platform as a business-minded woman like her counterparts. So Dr. Heavenly has like 85 jobs, yeah, man. She got them 85 jobs, yeah. And Dr. Jackie, she got them 100 jobs in a clinic in a surrogate place, yeah, yeah. And Dr. Simone is still charting. And I'm not saying you have to do more, but don't be mad when other people do. Because it kind of comes off like she's like, I've heard her say statements before where it almost was like, I'm like, are you hating that your friends have some business and ingenuity going on over there? Like, I'm like, you should be having way more kudos for your sister girls instead of all this venom. You know what I mean?
Not only that, she needs to go out and get an extra business of her own so that she can fund a renovation of her house because it's looking a little worn.
Yeah, both houses. Hopefully, maybe she could put them together and get a big house like Heavenly.
Just make sure it doesn't go over 1.3 million. I think that's what the threshold was that Heavenly said.
Yeah.
Remember, it was in one of her YouTube shows.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. She's like, I didn't do 3 million. Mine was 1.3 because then you have to pay the taxes on 3 million, Toya.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Toya, like, and them, like, yeah, um, you may be when they okay. Here's what I tell people. In my opinion, when they say like, oh, you're like approved up to 3 million, that doesn't mean that you go to 3 million because that's the top of your scale. That to me,
Yeah.
when you're approved to that much, that means like, look, if you do this, like you may have enough money left for some top ramen and some beanie weenies,
Right. Right.
for the month. But like why couldn't you be cool at like 1.2, 1.1, and then you built from the ground up? And that's another problem I had because I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like the more house, the more upkeep, and then like you got Eugene out here working 35 shifts a month. I
Poor
mean, poor
Eugene. You never
poor
see the
Eugene.
kids.
Right.
Oh.
So I just kind of felt like they did a disservice.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't put yourself in those financial positions because what you're gonna do is you get the house, but you haven't been in long enough, so you gotta pay taxes. So that
Right.
any little profit you're gonna make is gone just with that alone.
Exactly.
So you gotta pay them taxes, which means you're taking a loss. Like just on the taxes alone, you're gonna take a hit because you gotta have the moving costs, the then you gotta go, you gotta pay probably the same realtor to find you another house. You gotta pay them again. Then you gotta go through the whole. It's just a whole bunch of finance stuff that you shouldn't have done.
Right.
You don't have this call thing is not to be mean or count pockets, but based on what we've seen between Heavenly and Damon and Toya and Eugene, there's a pretty big discrepancy in like income because like Heavenly and Damon come from a two income household, and Heavenly
Correct.
said that she felt like I know what Eugene makes, I know, and then like she's like, and me and you both me and she's saying both me and Daddy are working, so she's like, look, I ain't gonna get no $3 million house.
Right.
And if they're not getting a $3 million house, how are you getting a $3 million house?
Exactly. And you know what? Can we just say how lucky Toya is that they didn't fire her ass when she started building that house? Because Bravo is famous for firing people in the middle of construction or right
Yes.
after they sign the mortgage. She is so lucky. She
But
lucky.
guys, look at what I remember. This is what Yanni said. Toya said it was because the market was hot. The value of the house was really high at her neighborhood and they wanted to take advantage. BS to me. Yes, Yanni, I remember them saying some sort of nonsense like this, but you sold your house for what it cost to build it, didn't she? It was 3
Did
million
they
and she
sell it?
sold it for 3 million?
No, from my understanding, what's on the market, I haven't seen anything recently, but from what we understand, it is sold, but they basically sold it for at or around what it costs to build it. So, which means they're taking a loss on overall on the house.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
loss on the house. So
That
their
doesn't make any
excuse
sense.
that the prices were really hot in their neighborhood, yeah, for everybody else's house.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if Anila's house got finished for 3 million and it's 14,000 square feet, and Toya's old house sold for 3 million and it's half the size, that wasn't a hot sale.
It
That
had
was
to
a
be
fire
something else.
sale.
Yeah, it was something else driving them listing that property.
I wonder if we'll find out. Yeah, because that's
Probably
or let's
not.
see where they end up. That will be the teller. If they end up in a better situation, then maybe there was something going on that was for the better. And if not, then we all know what we know, which is they needed the money, they got in over their head, and they needed to reassess their finances and get into something more affordable. We'll see.
Or what if the tax man come a knocking again?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just hope they don't end up in a Teresa Giudice kind of thing, building houses from the ground up and having the people see what you're spending compared to what you said. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there could be a lot of what ifs and what fors. I mean, I like Toya overall. I just wish she wasn't her and Simone seem to have, ever since season 1, that's the only person really that Toya has not fallen out with and not recovered immediately, was Dr. Simone. And they also are the most mean spirited to the other ladies, I feel. And I wonder if they have an alliance sometimes, like where they just always have each other's back. You know what I mean?
That's what Dr. Heavenly thinks, is because like, why is Simone hanging out with them and not with like people of her own ilk? You know, why
Right.
is she hanging out more with the doctors? Heavenly said that for a while though.
Yeah. It could be one of those situations too. On some other housewife franchises, they have like Lisa Vanderpump status, who likes to hang out with Brandy Glanville status. So you have something over them. You know what I mean?
Or you have a minion that does your dirty work for you.
Yeah, like a minion, like over them, like as far as like class, money, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So maybe it's that, like, she might not have 15 jobs, Yaman, but she got minions.
Yeah. Yep. You always need a toady to do your work or to carry a purse or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, thanks for
Anything
letting me call in. I don't want to take all your guys' time. My son just popped out here with his basketball, so I'm gonna put this on mute.
Okay,
Just
well,
kick me
thank
off
you
when you
for
want me kicked
calling
off.
in. No,
I love you guys. Happy
I
Monday.
love you as well. Oh my
It's
God.
great to have you.
We
No,
love
you
when you
guys,
call in.
and Black Lavender popped into my thing the other day, and I want to, she is a phenomenal human. I appreciate her energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks to the commentary zone and all the people in the chat. I hope you guys have a fantabulous week and make it a great week. It's up to us. We can make it whatever we want, right?
Same for you as
Yes,
well,
most definitely.
Martha. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Peace.
Talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye. Guys, don't forget to check out Larger Curves on her YouTube channel, Larger Curves. She has amazing points of view. Love her viewpoints. So, guys, what did you think? What did I miss in here? I moved to Jersey, but oh, we talking real estate talk in here. Yeah, I agree with you, Yanni. Like, people who sell high, you need another house, so you're buying high again. Okay.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't have money, so I don't know how these things work. Yes, we love when Larger pops up. We love it. We love it. Oh yeah, and Ablavi, I know you dropped Ablavi's link earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, so again, check out Ablavi M on YouTube. Did she say she's gonna do a live tonight?
I didn't hear her say that, but I'm gonna check her channel anyway just to be safe.
I am. People are paying for dumps and has like 30 people trying. Ooh. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, I guess that's my cue. I've gotta go. Guys,
Right.
thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, TLC Tuesday, and we're gonna talk about that new show, Me, My Girlfriend, My Ex. I have to watch that again. I got distracted last night during the middle of it, but I did see that girl in the closet. I would have went back to the cabin.
Yeah, that was no bueno. And her and their kids were not having her move in either. They were not feeling that.
Oh my God. I don't understand that relationship. I just don't. I didn't really get to see the guy who his last relationship was a guy, but he's with a girl this time. I didn't get to see their segment. I saw a bit of the guy with the ex-wife and the new wife that's been married for 18 years and they're somebody want to do an RV trip or something.
Right.
I tuned out on them. I got distracted.
It's good though.
I think I'm gonna need to find like pictures of all of these people so that I'll get to know the names.
Right.
Oh, Jesus, that's more work for me. All right, so I have to prep for tomorrow's show.
Are we good?
Yes, we are good. So, any final comments, my friend?
No, this is 2 good shows and a lot more to cover tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
I can't wait for the reunion for Married to Medicine.
Oh, it's gonna
I
be a
ain't gonna
trip.
lie. Yeah. All right, guys. Until next time.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.